just nature really. Practically anything that grows will inspire me. So trees, distant vistas and really small things, but just any plants really. So when I was really interested in plants and things, it was all Australian native plants. And I often painted like the ground and the earth and terrestrial orchids and all those sort of small incidental things you find in the bush. And then somehow over time that kind of morphed into doing that, and within the same painting doing distant vistas, landscapes, but in the foreground was all the very minute small things. And then as time progressed and I moved along with my painting, I concentrated more on the landscapes, and then I kind of morphed into painting more just trees. Until, of course, with COVID, I've started to concentrate this year more on just the garden because I've been home so much. I have painted flowers and things before, but I really enjoyed it actually, painting from the environment that's closer to home. I like to look at the way things are not perfect, and I don't think I could ever do a painting that was too formal in its structure and design. I like things to be a little eaten by insects or have bits of things twining through them so that it just looks a bit more wild and untamed. It's probably a good word. The two main themes, of course, are either still lifes or landscapes, and I work fairly differently with both. I really enjoy still life, looking through glassware and all that reflective glass. My still lifes I pretty much set up in the studio, and I have a couple of places I set them up because the light is different in different places. If I photograph early in the morning, I like to have them on my back window in the studio, which allows a lot more light to come through. Otherwise, I just set them up towards the front of the studio and start painting, but I also photograph it all because things die sometimes incredibly quickly. Sometimes I pick them and I'll pick 3 or 4, put them in different vases, and one will just keel over and die straight away and the other will be fine. So I really rely on photos because you just can't tell what plants are going to do. And then even when they're not in the best state, I kind of keep them in the studio because it just helps you look at the structure of the plant, where each of the little branches or parts of the plant join, just to understand the plant a little bit more. Artists are 24/7 aware of what's around them. When I'm doing landscapes, I go out on location, usually for a whole day, to a place. So I've got a group of people I go with usually, and we just leave really early in the morning and spend the whole day out on location somewhere. And I feel it's really important to be there just to really feel immersed in the place, you know. And then I take a lot of photos there, and I come back to the studio and I work from sketches and the photographs and work out a painting subject for landscape. But I think that has to be combined with a familiarity with the place and an emotional response to the place.